Hi everyone, welcome to my bronzer collection video. In this video, I will be showing you every bronzer I have in my collection, as well as possibly decluttering a few more, because I would really like to pare down my collection this year to things I absolutely love. I'm in a lot smaller of a space than I used to be, and so I do have to consolidate more. So I'm going to do my best to walk through all of these. As far as I know, this is most of my bronzers and a few palettes. So we will go ahead and get started here. The first item that we have is this bronzer stick from Trestique. One thing with this, it always seems like you forgot to put the lid on because of the way the package is. They do hide a brush at the bottom. I have used it before in a pinch. It's not my favorite. I need to clean it. But when you pull this out like this, you can see this is a really pretty color. I actually like this one quite a lot. Maybe I'll leave a few swatches on me so you can see some of these different colors, but that is the Trestique, what do they call this? The Contour Cheek Stick in Brazilian Bronze. If we're gonna stick on that, we might as well go to Pixi by Petra. I don't believe they make these anymore. This is the Multi-Balm Sheer Sculpt. I've had mine for a really long time, but I still love it, and I still think this is the best one for contouring. I love this one, how creamy it is. I love the color, and you can see it's definitely a little bit more, instead of orange, it's just a little more gray. So I love that about this one. I use this one a lot for contouring, and this is, like I said, the Multi-Balm. So I don't know if they had multiple colors or they've come out with new ones since then, but if you still see these anywhere, I mean, these are fantastic. The next thing in here is the Maybelline City Bronzer, and this is the medium, I believe. Yes, so 200. So there's a 100, a 200, and a 300. So this is the 200, which is medium. This packaging is very reminiscent of the e.l.f. packaging. So there's that. You open this up. Nothing too fancy about this one. It feels really velvety when you use it. And then go ahead and put it on here. This one is a little bit lighter than the Trestique and a little more shimmery as well. I don't know if you can see this. And I actually don't think I love the shimmer as much. And I think it is time to declutter this one. There's nothing technically wrong with it. I just like some other colors a little bit more. So I'm actually gonna be getting rid of this one. And if we're talking about the similar packaging, I don't mind getting rid of that City Bronzer because of this e.l.f. one that I love. And this is Forever Sunkissed. But I love this one. I feel like it's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. I really do. So I'm gonna use a different finger. I'm gonna say this has the same feel as the other one, but I like this color. I know it seems silly because they're so similar, but I like this one just a little bit better. So they may look exactly the same to you, but this one just has a little bit more shine to it than this one does. This is a little bit flat. And I like that about this bronzer. This is one of my absolute favorites, and I will keep this one, and I don't feel as bad about getting rid of the shinier one. So I was just talking about the dupe, so I might as well find that. It's back here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury, and this is medium, which is shade 2 officially. You can take a little pin back here and push it out. It's a magnetic pan, so they do sell refills of just this, so you can do that, which is nice. Let me go ahead and use a different finger. I'm gonna use this one, my ring finger. This one feels a little stiffer than the drugstore one, but you're gonna see as I put it here, even though it's a tiny bit lighter, I feel like these shades are so similar. This is the e.l.f. one, this is Charlotte Tilbury, so this is like 10 times the price because this is maybe $5 and this is $55. And you can tell they're very, very similar bronzers. So while this is nice, I would just buy a couple of these and call it good. I don't think I would ever buy that one again. I'd probably just buy the e.l.f. one. However, I am interested in their cream bronzers. I've heard really good things about that one. So yeah. You see how similar these are? I feel like they're so similar. All right, so let me clean off my fingers here. So the next single bronzer, let's go ahead and pull this one out. This is Iconic London. This is one of the newer ones to my collection. I got this off of an Ipsy pop-up shop, and this is in the color Warm Bronze. So it's not one of the darkest ones. So it also has a little indicator here, 36-month shelf life, which is really nice. And I've definitely not had it longer than that. So it's one of the few products that definitely I know I'm safe on. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my little pointer finger here. You can see it's so new, I've barely really gotten into it. Ooh, it is definitely darker than the last couple. This is more in line, gosh, almost with the City Bronzer, just without the shimmer. Yeah, I would say that's a very good description. So very similar in shade to this. I'm gonna have to remember which order they put them on in. So it was the Multi Balm and Trestique, and then I know the City Bronzer, I think, and then e.l.f., right? City Bronzer, and then e.l.f., and then Charlotte Tilbury. Help me. Don't let me forget. Editing me, if you remember, just keep that in mind. And then this one is the Iconic London. Now I definitely don't feel bad about also getting rid of the other one because this is so similar, just without the shimmer. Okay, so the next one, let's go with this guy back here. This is the L'Oreal Glam Bronze. This is pretty old actually, and this is in Deep. I don't know why I decided Deep was the one for me. I think it's definitely too deep. I think this is probably gonna be one that I'm safe to declutter. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's definitely too deep for me. Look at that. I mean, it's beautiful, but it looks more like an eyeshadow now, but too deep for me. So I'm actually gonna be getting rid of this one. This is even more deep than the Trestique one, a little bit more red. So I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. It's good that I'm swatching all of these. That way I can actually know how colors look. So the next one I'm gonna do is the Marc Jacobs. So this is one of the Omega Bronze, and this is in 102 Tantric. So I'm gonna open this guy up. It's got a little protective film here. So here is this. It's a huge pan, which I love for getting your bronzer brush in there. So I've used this one. It's ring finger time. All right. I like the way that this one feels actually. So I'm gonna put this one here. That's really pretty. This one is more so like, gosh, this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna have to run out of arm room and then do another swatch here. Maybe I can put them all side by side later. So that one is really pretty. Actually, I like that a lot. So I'm definitely gonna hold on to this one. That actually makes me happy because there are times where I thought, oh gosh, I never used this one. Do I need to hold on to it? And now I see, yes, I do, because it's really beautiful. So those were the first, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first 8, should I try and do 10? Yes, I should. I'll answer that question. So I'll try and do 10 bronzers at a time. Now I know you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of bronzers. And I would say you're right. And what if I told you this was after I did a declutter? So it used to be worse, okay? So I don't know, don't judge me too much. Here is the next one we will do. This is the LYS. This is the No Limits Matte Bronzer in Motivate/Light. This one has 24 months. Oh, I think that's a little PETA bunny, right? Yeah, PETA certified. All right, so let's go ahead and open this one. I like that it's a little triangle, although it does make it a little more difficult to store sometimes, not gonna lie. So this one says matte bronzer as well, so we're not gonna get any shimmer. So let's go ahead and we got a new finger in here. Ooh. This one feels more of that velvety color. Let's see, it definitely has some kick up there as you swirl it around. Okay, what is that most like? That is most like, I'm really bad at this game, matching game. Is it most like this one? Maybe? Most like this one, but without the, it's almost like this one, but without the shimmer. So that's number 9. That is the LYS. I actually like this one because it has a bit more like brown instead of this one, which definitely pulls more orange. So I like this, actually. I do like this. All right, so we're gonna hold on to this guy. It's almost like yellow brown, which I kind of like. And then the last one we can do, this one is one of my absolute favorites. This is the bronze bronze noir, let's go with. And this is in, this is from Viseart. And I love this one when I travel because the little package just kind of opens like this magnetically. And you can even take out this little pan and stick it in like a palette of some kind. You can just kind of like pop it out like this, metal pan. So I really, really, really like this one. And from what I remember, I love this color too. So I'm just gonna do this. It feels a little bit more gritty. It feels like it has hard pan, honestly. But that's honestly because I use it so much, it probably has all of my face stuff on it. So I'm just gonna rub really hard here and honestly try and rub off some of that hard pan. Okay, so here we go in this guy. This is when I found that it's really hard to go overboard with and you can really build it up quite a lot. So this is that color there, and it's kind of similar to this one up here. I don't even know which one that is. I'm gonna have to go back and look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, 5-ish down or so. So this is this bronzer. You're gonna see I have a type when it comes to bronzers. I'm not mad about it. This one was definitely too deep. This one, I know it seems deep, but it's also more of the contour and it's really creamy and blends out really well. So here are the first 10 bronzers in my collection. And I'm also keeping this guy. All right, so we're gonna do a quick arm wiping break. Continuing on with some single bronzers that we have up here. This is the first one. This is the Shades by Shan bronzer. Pretty sure we got this inside of an Ipsy or BoxyCharm. And it says, "You are very beautiful." So this is Latte is the color. And then it says from the contour palette. So I guess there's a contour palette here. And this is from that one. So good to know. If you like this one in the contour palette and just want a single of it, you can do so. So here is the color here. We're gonna start off a new set of swatches. I'm gonna try and do them closer to each other this time so we don't have to go as far up the arm. Ooh, that is velvety. It's like velvet. All right, so there, wow, that is pigmented. It also could just be because my arm is wet from wiping off the, that's pretty. Oh my goodness, that's pretty. Okay, so we're gonna hold on to this one. The next one in here, this was a point perk once at Sephora. So, but this is the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is a popular bronzer from Too Faced. A lot of people have used and love that one. So I'm just gonna swipe it right here next to. I think I like this one a little bit better. The next color in here, I'll go ahead and take this one. It is a palette, but it has this bottom color here called Chisel.
So here is where the doorbell rang and my dog started going crazy. So welcome to voiceover, Shelly. This is the Physicians Formula Waikiki strip, and it's a very shimmery bronzer. So definitely not quite the bronzer look I'm going for, but extremely beautiful, would make lovely eyeshadows. And it's the first time I've ever swatched this actually. Next up is a powder bronzer from ColourPop. This is Coconut Beach. I believe it came out with the Going Coconuts collection. I got this separately when I went to the Friends and Creators trip in Charleston, so I was happy to have it. It's the first time I've swatched this one as well. It looks like a lovely bronzer. I'm gonna hold on to it for right now. Next up is the matte bronzing powder from Laura Mercier. This is in Soleil 1. This is a lovely powder if you've never tried this formula. It feels very velvety. The color is really beautiful and it doesn't have a lot of shimmer, which I like. It's more matte, as the name implies. I will definitely be holding on to this one. Next up is a classic blast from the past. It's in a small travel size, but it is the NARS. And it is in the color or shade Laguna. Do you guys remember when this was all a rage and it was always in the duos with the blush? You know what? People made fun of those. They were a good, popular item for a reason. They're really, really good. So I like this one. You can use it as well for a contour. A lot of people do because it has a little bit more of a gray tone as well. compared to some other bronzers. And next is going to be the Smashbox. I got this once. I don't know if it was a gift with purchase, point perk, whatever it was. It is my absolute favorite contour shade. It's the one on the left there. It's so good. And this powder is old, but I refuse to give away this trio. I don't really use the other ones as much. There's a bronzer in there and there is a highlighter. I'm going to go ahead and swatch the bronzer as well. It's not terrible, but I really keep this palette around for the contour shade.
Okay, I'm back. I was trying to save you my dog's barking, so you're welcome. Here we have this midi palette, and this is the Versatile Matte Bronzer. So yes, there was some voiceover for a while. Yes, we're back. Here we go. On this guy, you know what? This is good that I'm swatching this because there are a lot of times that I've avoided this because I thought it was too dark for me. But now I'm seeing maybe not so much. Maybe not. And in Rodeo Drive and in Cheer. Okay, so this is actually kind of a nice little trio palette. So there's that one. So now I think we've got this guy over here, which is the Complexion Trio. I think we'll have just enough to swatch these last couple, and then I'll have to do another arm wipe. So this is from Alamar Cosmetics, and we have Solterra and we have Always Summer. So we haven't done this finger yet, so we'll do this. And we'll kind of do this guy. Okay. It's definitely got some pigment on it. And then the very last one is going to be Always Summer. Definitely darker. So this one's probably too dark for me. This one is probably just right, so the Solterra. So here is the second set of swatches. Maybe I can try and get my arm sideways so we can do both sets side by side here. You know, this all mixed together would be a beautiful highlight on a darker skin tone. It's a beautiful color. That's Physicians Formula in the drugstore, so really good there. All right, so we have a few face palettes to go, so let's go ahead and get started. Here is the first one from Cover FX. This was definitely a BoxyCharm type of find, and so there is this guy here. It's really just a contour in here because these are listed as highlighters, and then there was a blush, a brightener, and a finishing powder. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with the contour powder for right now. That's actually really nice, very subtle. And it says contour, but honestly, that kind of doesn't have that much gray in it. So I feel like it could also just be a nice little bronze. All right, so that's really the only thing in there. We could come back to this palette when we do the highlighter one. So here is the contour palette from IBY Beauty. So highlight and contour. And so there are 3 colors in here and 3 highlights. So technically these are all listed as contour, so I will go ahead and just swipe them 1, 2, 3. Here's 1. Here is 2. And here is 3. I feel like 3 is the only one that works for me. It seems silly to keep this entire palette if the only color I need is here, and I probably have this color elsewhere. I don't think I'm going to end up keeping this because these highlights are not highlights that I feel like I would want either. So while I don't know if I could maybe take out this one color, I don't know if I need to because I have other contours that I also like. So I think I'm actually going to let this one go. The next up is going to be the Natural Face palette. So here there's going to be Sunny Hot and there's going to be Tropic Light It's Hot. I feel like this palette still looks pretty and it's still like, it smells nice. It's just a fun palette. It is heavy. It's like a weapon, I'll tell you that though. We'll start over here with Sunny Honey. It's definitely golden. And then this one, Tropic Like It's Hot. Ooh, that is definitely more bronzy, like an eyeshadow though. Am I gonna do this? Am I actually gonna let this one go? I might, actually. It takes up a lot of space. It is beautiful packaging, but there was a time when I really enjoyed this palette and I used it a lot, but now I don't feel like I would use these colors as much. It's ironic, it's the natural face. I don't feel like this is that natural. Let me see here. Is this Save It? Oh, that is lovely. Satin sheets and then Starlight. Oh, it's a multi-chrome. It's so pretty. Okay, I may have to keep it because of all the other stuff, but I don't think I would be using Tropic Like It's Hot, only Sunny Honey, which was this guy. My dogs are at it again. I don't think the bronzer shades are really great for me, but I do love these two little highlights. So maybe I'll hold on to this, but let me think about that. Also from Too Faced is going to be the Cocoa Contour. So let's go ahead and look at this guy. I'm sorry, my dogs are making themselves known in the background. Light contour, medium contour, and deep contour. So let's take a look at this. Light contour. It actually looks like nothing, honestly. Medium contour. That's medium? Okay. It's really, I'm having to work on this. And whatever this one was, right? What was this one? I feel like this is just as good as this, and I don't have to work as hard, and I don't have to have this entire thing. Here's the last, deep contour. Oh, is that a contour, or is that just like a really red kind of bronzer? The only color I like is this medium contour. And even this, I feel like I can get here, which I think is the Hydrating Complexion Trio from Alamar Cosmetics. Is that right? I'll have to go back and look at whatever this one was, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth one in. I feel like whatever this one is, I can keep, and I can probably get rid of this whole palette. Now this one is gonna take a while. I have 2 things left, and that is going to be, first of all, this guy, which is a collection of bronzers. This guy's a contour. Ooh, I wonder, let me swatch this contour right quick, because if this is the same as that Too Faced one, it's a little lighter. Okay, so maybe that doesn't quite have the same effect. This one is the KVD contour. So the next one here, I believe this is gonna be from Ofra. And this is, nope, this is Private Party, and that is from ColourPop. So there is Private Party. It's actually a really nice one. And then this is a brightening shade, so we're not gonna do that one. This is actually the split pan that came out for Ofra, and this was Samantha March's collaboration. So I'll do one side. This is the matte side, and then this is the other side. This is her River Bronzer Duo. Now, part of me is just gonna hold on to the collection because she is a friend of mine, but I think they're fun. This one is definitely a bit more shimmery, maybe more shimmery than I would like, but I feel like if I mix them together, it's not as bad. So definitely a pretty combo here, and if anything else, a very pretty eye color too. Let me wipe off all of these swatches here. All right, we are back. Next up, we are gonna go in with Hoola. This is from Benefit, very classic bronzer. Everyone has definitely probably heard of this. And there is Hoola, lovely. And now they have Hoola in extended colors. So they have an extra light and they have a deeper one. So if you're not a traditional Hoola in the classic first original color, they have made variations since then. Pretty sure this is a guy from Ofra, and even though, you know what, I should have learned my lesson from the little palette, right? Even though it looks really dark in the pan, I was always scared of it, but it's actually not that bad. And this is the color, let's see if I can pull it up here, Current. So that's actually nice. I should use that more often. So the next one, this is a split pan that Ofra did with a highlighter and a bronzer. Ooh, goodness, that is deeper than I thought. So there's that. And then the last one I'm gonna swatch for you, and then I'm gonna take my dogs out for a walk, and then we'll come back, which will be no time for you, but a lot of time for me. I believe this is Americano, or it's gonna be something similar from Ofra. I just didn't want that to fall on my carpet or anywhere else. It's definitely shimmery, and I'm not really into a shimmery. This is Americano. I think I might actually get rid of Americano. I didn't think I was going to because they're already in a palette, so what are you gonna do? but I don't think I'm gonna use that because I just don't think I will actually use that. All right, I'm gonna go take my dogs for a walk and then I'll be back. Here is the last face palette that I've kind of built together with bronzers. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So this first one, definitely, I think, oh, maybe it's not too dark. You know, if this is Ofra, they are deceiving me. They've gotten me every single time. Here we go, let's look. This is Versatile bronzer from Ofra. Let me zoom out just a tiny bit too. So next up, let's go on with this one, New Finger. Woo, definitely shinier on this guy. This is more like copper. Definitely, I don't think I'm into my Shimmer Girl bronzer era. I don't know how I feel about that. This is Americano. Did I already have that? I think I have 2 of these and I already got rid of this one. So I'm gonna get rid of this one too. I get rid of both actually. I have multiples because sometimes they come in different palettes. So that is why. So here is another one. That one is fine, definitely kind of orangey, nothing to write home about. And this is Versatile. Oh my gosh, so this is the same one as this one. So I don't need both of these either. So I'll just keep one. I'll keep the one with the little sticker on it. I think that's honestly the first time I've even swatched it. Okay, so I've got that one, I got this one. Now what I have is this, which came in their whole glow kit. So it's supposed to have 2 bronzers and a highlighter kind of in one, but I know some people just kind of swirl it all. So maybe I'll start with that. I don't know how to do this exactly because now I feel like that highlighter is going everywhere. Yep, sure is. The highlighter by itself is kind of pretty. Let me see if I can just do this here. So that one is barely there. So actually, since it's barely there, I'm gonna come over here and use this one, do it right underneath, kind of orangey. I mean, it's fine. I mean, the highlighter's kind of pretty. And this one by itself, so I guess I don't feel bad. What if I just mix those 2? I kind of did that. So maybe I can just kind of, what's a fair comparison? Squish these 2. See, that's the thing though, when you have these like combo ones, then they get all like mixed and it's hard to create the perfect balance again. So here's that last one. I don't know if there's anything in this entire palette that was really so amazing that I have to hold. Oh, I still got to do those 2. Hold on, we'll be back. All right, so the next one, again, let's do this little guy up here. Did I swatch this one? Maybe I did actually. Did I not? No, I don't think I did. Just another one that I think is faking me out for how deep which is why I've never used it. This is Ipsy from April. Oh my gosh, it's so old. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this one away because it's from 2017. Is that right? April 2017. Okay, that's going. The last thing over here, let's do this. It's a blush and a bronzer and a highlighter in one. You know what? That's not so bad. You can kind of see it. And then last but not least, let's look at this little highlighter. What are you? Kind of peachy, golden. Need a better swatch. I'm gonna use my thumb. You know what? You see how crumbly that is? It just made a mess all over. I think, honestly, I don't think I need to keep this. Pretty much anything in here. I'm gonna keep this. And then I'm gonna get rid of, I think, like everything else, honestly. So from that previous palette, I'm just going to add the one pretty one in here with that highlight. And then I think I'm gonna pretty much be getting rid of everything else. So that means, I'll just show them here, but these 2 Americanos, the extra Versatile and the extra one of this, I am going to get rid of actually all of these. And because of that, I think I can get rid of pretty much this palette or use it for something else completely, which would be good. And I know some of you may be being like, that's perfectly fine product. And it is. However, I want to have a drawer full of stuff that I like and love and know how it performs. And I'm no longer in the collector mentality. This money's already been spent. I'm not going to recover it. So I'm just going to get rid of stuff that doesn't serve me. And I'm going to love the stuff that I actually have and make sure it's brought to the surface and to the top of the pile.
Here is some behind the scenes footage, bonus footage of me trying to take apart that Alamar Cosmetics bronzer palette. Basically, I was trying to get that middle color out. It turns out these pans are not metal, they're plastic, and there was some glue back there. I did crack it a little bit, but fairly successful. I actually did it with some adhesive so that it would go into the magnetic palette. And here I am trying to fit it with some of the other items that I have. I did not have as good of luck with the mini chocolate bronzer from Too Faced. The cardboard was actually quite stiff, and when I tried to remove the back, I did end up cracking my bronzer, but this one was so small, I figured it was fine, and I wanted to try and at least salvage what I could. So you can see I gave it the good old college try. I did crack it, but it fit right into the Z palette, and I was at least satisfied that I got it in there. I did destroy everything else, so I tried to take off the backing and cardboard and glue. I was not that successful, but anyways, it fit in the palette, so I taped it down and I called it a day. And now I'm going to put everything back into my drawer.
So that was swatching every single bronzer in my bronzer collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one as we go on to all the other categories of makeup.